The summer movie season is upon us, and so I'm going to take a couple minutes here and just kind of list out what I think are going to be the top 10 highest grossing movies domestically of the summer. That's going to be from May until the end of August, getting us up through Labor Day weekend. So let's go ahead and just start off with number 10, and that is going to be Horizon: An American Saga, Chapter 1. So if you've never heard of this, I don't blame you, but it's Kevin Costner's new movie. It's actually a two-parter. Both of them are coming out this summer. I decided I wanted to put one of them on the list, and I'm going to put the first one just because I think it's probably going to have more business than the other one. Now, why is this one on my list? Well, I feel like every summer there's some kind of weirder movie where you would be like, well, why would that's not going to be on there? Like Sound of Freedom, that was last summer. It's kind of, I'd imagine, a similar audience, like Yellowstone, huge TV show. Kevin Costner's in that. Kind of westerny show. This is a flat out western. I think there could be some carryover on that, so I think it's going to be on the list. I might even have it a little low. I could definitely be wrong though. My number 9 is Twisters. I don't really know if this is going to work out, but I love me some Glenn Powell. I think he's awesome. I love him in Top Gun. I liked him in Anyone But You, and so happy to see him here. The original Twister, it came out a long time ago. I don't know if there's much carryover from that. Twisters in general are kind of big in the news and everything right now. Maybe it's too soon to be putting this thing out. We'll have to see. I bet that really isn't going to kind of affect this at all. But this is, for me, I think one that could do well, but maybe not as well as some of these other movies. So that's why it's going to be down there at number 9. Number 8, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, a movie I am very excited to see, and might even just be a little too optimistic about it, even putting it on this list, but I am hopeful, and I think that it's definitely got potential. There's always feels like there's some kind of those sci-fi movies that kind of end up on these lists that you might not expect to see, and I think that with the distance that this one has from the other Planet of the Apes movies, right? It's been 7 years since the last one came out, but like it's 300 years in the future in the actual movie itself. So like you can jump in. It's not one you have to feel like you have to have seen everything else. Hopefully they do a good job of letting people know that in the marketing and everything. But yeah, I'm really excited to see it. I think that it's got some big potential and it's coming out real soon. So not one we're going to have to wait too long to see kind of how it does. Number 7 is going to be Borderlands. Some people are not sure on this. It's very much just Guardians of the Galaxy, right? The movie itself is like trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy, which if you're going to try to be something, there are worse things to try to be. I'm not a huge fan of the game series. I've played them, but not like super heavily involved in the lore or the story or any of that kind of stuff. So I'll probably end up liking this movie more than maybe some of the hardcore people who are already kind of poking holes in different things. But I think that there could be appeal. I think that there definitely could be appeal in it. If it's fun, if it has good word of mouth, it could definitely stick around and make some good money. I'm hoping it does because I've got it here again at number 7. Number 6 is going to be The Fall Guy, the movie that's kind of kicking off the summer movie season this year. It's coming out this weekend. It's a comedy. It's got big stars in it. Ryan Gosling was in the highest grossing movie last summer. If it can be good and get good word of mouth, I think it could definitely kind of have some legs, especially with this kind of a movie. Like it's a comedy. It's got action. It's got date night potential, romance and that kind of stuff. So I think it's one of those where it's like everybody could want to go see it. So if it can really just kind of just be good and just stick around a little bit, I think it would do really, really well. We'll just have to see on this one. I guess we'll just have to see on all of them. It's kind of redundant to say that every time, Seth. You should probably stop doing that. Number 5, Bad Boys Ride or Die, which is the 4th Bad Boys movie. It's a real shame that you wasted 4 life on the 3rd one. Really weren't thinking ahead with that one. This movie, personally, I'm not excited for it at all. I roll my eyes really hard at the trailer on this one. But that being said, Bad Boys for Life made a lot of money. It was very successful right before COVID hit. Now, we are living in a different world when it comes to people's relationship with Will Smith. Do people still want to see him in this kind of a movie? feel like there's been enough distance and he stayed quiet enough to kind of have people be like, yeah, sure, why not? So I think it doesn't look that different from the other ones in the trailer, at least. We'll have to see if it's able to kind of bring in all that energy and all of that excitement that the other ones had. But if it does, it could definitely be bringing in some good money. At number 4, I've got Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorite movies to come out in the last 10 years. I think it's a masterpiece. It's just relentless. It's so fun. And I am going to hope to be optimistic on this. And I think that it's got good momentum, right? I feel like Mad Max Fury Road is just one of those movies that like everybody who sees it enjoys it. When it comes to this one, I think it's got a good cast. I think that the trailer is fun. The music is got me excited too. They're bringing back the same guy from the last one. I think that it's definitely got potential. Anya Taylor-Joy, again, in a huge movie last year. So Despicable Me 4. This one, it's just going to make a lot of money. All of these Minion movies, all the Despicable Me movies, they just make a ton of money. And so I think it would be dumb to not have it on the list at all. I've got it pretty high up there. The last Minions movie did really, really good. So I don't think there's any reason to think it's not going to push those other ones out. Like everything else that's below this on the list is like, it should be on the list. But Despicable Me 4, I was like, 100% it will be on there. I think it's going to be pretty high. The Minions don't miss. So that's why they're on my list. Inside Out 2 being at number 2 might be a little risky, right? Despicable Me and like the Illumination movies, they're on the upward trend, right? With Mario last year. Pixar's had a rough go. I mean, Elemental ended up doing all right. It did end up in the top 10 last summer, but it was a struggle for it. But there's a lot of brand recognition with Inside Out 2. I, for one, know my kids are very excited to see it. So I don't think they're alone in that. There are ads all over the place for it. I think it is going to bring in some good money. And Pixar needs it. So Disney needs it too. Hopefully this summer will be good for Disney because, again, last summer was real rough for them. In fact, my number 1 movie is also a Disney movie. I've got Deadpool and Wolverine in there at that spot. Now, it might not be the smartest having it at number 1 just because it's R-rated, right? So it's going to be a little more difficult for it to get out there in front of everybody. But Oppenheimer was R-rated. It did great. And so I don't think that that's going to maybe hinder it too much. I think that it being the one real Marvel movie, MCU movie to be coming out this year is also going to help, right? People are not kind of bogged down with that stuff like they were last year. And I think people are hungry for it. I think that the trailer has gotten a lot of buzz going. Ryan Reynolds is huge. Hugh Jackman is huge. So I'm ready for a good time, and I'm ready for this movie to make a ton of money at the box office. So that is my top 10 guessing. What's going to be top 10 for the summer. The way I'll do scoring on that is I'm going to say if I get it in the right spot, I'm going to get a point for it. If I don't get it in the right spot, it's in the top 10, no points, right? So I'm gunning for Dan Merle. You don't know who I am yet, Dan. But I will catch you. One of these years, I'm going to catch you. And then you'll know. But until then, let's just see about other people watching the video. Let me know in the comments. What's your top 10 look like? We'll come back and we'll check on it at the end of the summer and see how we all did. Okay, well, that's it. Bye.